Well, folks, hold on. We're about to make a gorgeous, delicious roast Cornish hen. When you try this, well, you're not going to want Cornish hen the old way ever again. Howdy, folks. Welcome to Texas Cooking Today. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a Texas Cooking Today tutorial, and on this show, I'm going to be teaching you everything about this recipe. We're going to go into detail about methodology, technique. Everything is going to get taught here. I would like to say thank you for watching, and if you don't need a video this long that's this detailed, guess what? The previous episode is just the recipe, kind of bare, like most other people on internet do their videos. So I'll tell you what, take a look at that. This one tells you everything about this recipe. Now let's get in the kitchen and let's get busy tearing this up. Come on. Today, I'm going to be making some Cornish game hens. Now, a lot of folks simply take this bird and they dress it up with some spices and with some herbs and sometimes butter or olive oil or whatever, and then just roast it up in the oven. That's a very common way of doing this. But today, I'm going to teach you a whole different approach to doing a Cornish game hen. When you see what I'm about to do, you're going to be like, wow, that's different from what everyone else is doing. And when you try it, you're going to find out just how delicious it is and how well this works. This is a beautiful marinade, and that takes about an hour. And then we're going to roast it. That takes about another hour. So it's not like something that takes a whole long time to make, and it doesn't require a lot of work. It's mostly just being patient. Guys, let me show you the ingredients back here, and we're going to get busy cooking up some delicious Cornish hens. Come on. The ingredients that we are using today, of course, are Cornish hens, the star of the show. We're also going to need a white wine, and I am using a nice Chardonnay there. In addition, we have some lemon juice on the far left here, some red wine vinegar right here. I have some tarragon, some thyme, and some salt. In addition, you're going to need a couple of pieces of string, and that will be to truss that bird. It's a very simple thing to do, and once you get used to it, you'll never do it another way. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, an easy way to do your wine. The only thing I'm going to say about using wine when you cook, never use a wine that isn't good enough to drink, all right? If you wouldn't drink it, don't cook with it. It's just that simple. So we'll start with my wine in here. And right now I'm just getting all of this ready so that when it comes time to get the marinade on the chicken, I don't have to do anything else. Just pour it in there. Now, grab a whisk. Just whisk that together. Now, folks, when it comes time to get your birds ready, I like to use cooking gloves. It makes cleanup after I handle the birds really quick. I just got to pull the gloves off and I'm right on to the next task. But you can always just use your bare hands, wash them afterwards. Make sure you do that. We're going to prep these birds to be cooked. Now I'm going to do something that a lot of people might consider sinful. I'm going to go ahead and remove this skin from the bird. Yes, I know, horrible, horrible, sinful act, isn't it? Yes, folks, I know the skin does taste very good. I understand that. However, number one, it isn't terribly healthy. Number two, I want to get the best penetration by my marinade that I can get. And that means I have to undress this little bird, okay? So I want to get these chunks of fat out of the way. And don't worry, I'm going to replace them with something else too. And it's going to make it work out just wonderful. Now if you want a little bit of skin left on the end of that foot, that's fine. But we're just removing the majority of it. Be careful not to cut into your meat like I did just there. That's one of those whoops moments. Now this will pull free. So what I've got to do is just get away from my knife. I'm going to set that down in a moment. And then get busy removing the rest of this. There we go. And this is the way I normally do it. I just make my first cut and then I strip him down, just like so. And if you're wondering, gee, why is he doing that? As I mentioned, this is, we want to get marinade to the meat itself. And this skin will 100% block that. And I don't want to do that. There's only one part of this bird that's going to have any skin left on it, and that's actually going to be those wings. So the wings don't really get marinated as well as the rest of it does, but they will still get some. That's the reason I'm breaking the skin open, so that marinade can penetrate up under that skin, okay? So right there where it has that little top flap, just open it up. So there we go. We've got him all naked, and he's ready to be trussed. I need to do that to both of my birds. Now, if you notice, now the bird is splayed open even more than they were before. And you can only imagine how quickly this thing would dry out if we cooked it like this. So what we got to do is we got to get it all bunched up into one thing. And the way we do that is we take our string, pull the ends together, and at the center, tie it around one of the two legs. Get him up here. And once you see how easy this goes, then you're going to be surprised. Okay, I like to just double knot that. I don't know why I like to double knot it. It would probably hold with one, but I do it that way. Now I need to run my string under this other leg and tie the two together. Turn this. Just like that. We can bring one leg over the top, just like that. So he's kind of crisscrossed. And tie it off again. Okay, now here's the easy part about this. What happens is I need to get these legs that are kind of loose and hanging around down here. I need to get them to where they suck up to the body really nice and tight like that. And that way it will cook smooth and even. But at the same time I also want this string to pull in these wings and hold it all together. So all I have to do is take the strings and pass the string between the leg and the breast right here and over that wing. See that? Right through there. Do the same thing on the other side. Take him right in there and over the wing. I'm going to flip him over. Those two that went over the wings, first thing I want to do, I want to give them a gentle tug upwards, just like this. Boom. What that did is that just pulled both of those legs in there nice and tight. Now I want to take this and tie them just like that. See how it pulls this part of the wing back, kind of lifts it up a little bit. Now I could do a bow tie like I was about to do there, but I think I won't be too fancy. Just tie a regular knot, plain old square knot. Now something I can do here, I can leave these strings on, you can cut them off. It doesn't really matter, but if you're going to be removing the string from the top of the bird, it's best to have this reduced as much as possible. Now the last thing is I take the tip of that wing and just tuck him right behind the bird like that. Okay? There we go. Turn him over. He's ready. Whoops, a little wing popped out. And if that wing keeps popping out, I can tuck it under the string and that'll work fine. So you see how my legs came up. Now if I want my legs over the breast on the tip, I can do that just like this. And that's one way to cook it, just like that. Okay, or you can have it with the legs under the breast. Take your pick. All right, just whichever you think looks more elegant on your plate. Do my other one the exact same way, and then we're going to get these started marinating. Ooh, yeah. I now have my chickens all trussed and pretty, so it's time to get them marinated. We'll take these little guys and we'll put them right down into this bag. Now this is easy enough. We've already mixed our marinade. I just got to get it put in my bag. Now I'm going to let some of that air come out of it and zip this thing closed. Now I don't have a lot of faith when it comes to these Ziploc bags, so I'm going to put this in a bowl also. Now let's get this transferred to a bowl. I'm going to put my chickens in here upside down so the breast meat is down inside that marinade. I will turn this about 30 minutes into the marinating process so that we get the chicken marinated all the way around. But the majority of the marinating I want done is on that thicker portion of meat. There we have it, guys. This goes in the fridge now. After we've pulled this from the fridge, we need to get it down onto a pan rack, and that way it lifts it off the bottom of the pan and it'll cook it a little bit cleaner in the oven this way. If you don't have a pan rack, you don't have to have one, but they're helpful. Also, let's get it covered with some olive oil. Now the olive oil is important, folks. This olive oil is going to be sealing in moisture. Does it add flavor? Well, it adds a little bit, but during the cooking process itself, the important part is that we seal the moisture in so that the birds come out nice and juicy. After that, we're going to be adding some wine to this. Don't add more than about a cup. And then a little bit of water and it's done. There we go. Down in that oven. Wonderful. This is going to be such a delight. And once you've tried it, you're absolutely going to be floored. Those birds are going to need to cook for about 1 hour, 375 degrees. You're going to check it with a thermometer. We need to use a chef's thermometer, poke it down in the bird, and make sure at the center of our meat, in the densest locations, we can get somewhere around 175, 180 degrees. When we're there, it's done, okay? We take them out and let them rest after that. And then we're going to do something special to finish this off. Guys, give it time and relax. There is one thing I need to remember to mention to you, and that is halfway through the cooking cycle, 30 minutes in, you're going to pull those out of the oven and rebaste them with olive oil, then put them right back in, okay? It's just that simple. It's been an hour. Oh, gorgeous birds. Look at that. Now it's time to test that temperature. Okay, folks, I'm getting a reading of 155, and that is not sufficient. So this is going to go back in the oven for about another 15 minutes. Alrighty, now that we have that out, I need to pry these things out of there. Now, of course, you need to take these juices and run them right through a strainer. There we go. As I mentioned earlier, I was going to give these just a light drizzle of oil at the end and brush that over it. There we go. Gives him a beautiful sheen and that wonderful olive oil flavor as a finisher. One of the things that I like to do is to take my drippings and thicken them. So I will use a little bit of cornstarch. And it doesn't take a lot of this, guys. Just a bit will do it. Always dissolve that cornstarch in cold water. It'll take it a moment, it'll settle it to the bottom, and then in just a few seconds time it will all dissolve. Make sure you do this in cold water, because if you try to dissolve it in hot water, it gets really disagreeable, okay? So it may just not work for you at all. Now I'm going to take this, pour it down in here while stirring. And I'm not going to add much, just a little bit to begin with. There we go. Coming right back up in temperature. Just a couple more teaspoons. Wonderful. Now I have this beautiful sauce to go with my chicken. I'm going to let that cook for just a moment. After these have been cooked and they've rested for a little bit of time, you can go ahead and cut the string that goes around these legs. Boy, look at that, there's juice just squirting out of him. And you always want to do this before serving, okay? Because you don't want to serve somebody a Cornish hen that's all tied up, because they won't have any way of undoing it. There we go. To our two birds that we cooked today, the ingredients for the marinade was very simple. That was 1 cup of a nice Chardonnay, a half of a cup of lemon juice, 1/4 of a cup of red wine vinegar, 1 tablespoon of tarragon, 2 teaspoons of thyme, and that's that rubbed thyme, and 1 teaspoon of salt. It's a very simple marinade, and it works wonders on a bird. Once we have everything cooked, it's just a matter of getting it on the plate in a way that looks beautiful and makes you want to eat it. Doesn't that look elegant, folks? What a gorgeous dish. But remember, whenever you're plating up a dish, every little thing makes a difference. So you don't want to plate it up and have drips and mess all around the edge. Go ahead and get it dried and cleaned up, so by the time it hits the table, the presentation is absolutely picture perfect. Oh yes, I have been picking at and enjoying this chicken. Let me tell you. Wonderful, delicious, succulent, juicy little bird. Perfectly cooked. It's juicy because we kept putting the oil on it, and that helped hold in all of that moisture. It cooked up just right, and it has flavor that you can't get any other way, because we pulled that skin away from the meat and allowed the meat to get in contact with the marinade, and the marinade did its job. Wonderful, popping flavors. Folks, I want to say thank you very much. Thank you for watching this episode of Texas Cooking Today. If you would, please take a look at my channel. I've got a lot of good recipes on there. Please click the like button if you enjoyed this. And if you would, leave some comments. If you have any questions, if you have a request, you'll be surprised how often those get fulfilled on this show. Folks, thank you again for watching, and please have a good day. Bye-bye. Folks, thank you very much for watching Texas Cooking Today. Another fantastic recipe. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions or comments, please drop them below. Thank you for watching this episode. Also, if you would, please check out my channel. Please share this video. And folks, please also have a good day and enjoy the view.